Want to know the 7 factors required for a whiskey to be identified as a bourbon? Abby Inglewood here to answer the question, what does it take to be called a bourbon? While all bourbons are whiskeys, not all whiskeys are bourbons. Here to explain the distinction is my good friend and bourbon junkie, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Abby, and you nailed it. In order to be called a bourbon, special standards must be met. There are 7 of them.
Okay, let's start with the first one, which is the fermentation mixture, right? They call it the mash bill?
Correct, Abby. The mash bill is the recipe for grains used in the fermentation process to produce whiskey. It specifies the particular mix and percentages of different types of grains, such as corn, rye, barley, and wheat. In the context of bourbon, the mash bill must consist of at least 51% corn to meet the classification standards. The composition of the mash bill greatly influences the flavor profile and characteristics of the final whiskey product.
And what about the strength? I heard there's a rule about that too.
Right you are. When distilling this liquid gold, you can't go over 160 proof. That's 80% alcohol by volume. If it's any higher, it's not wearing the bourbon badge anymore.
Got it. Keep it cool on the alcohol thermometer. That was requirement number 2 now. Doesn't it have to sleep in some special barrels or something?
Oh, absolutely. Bourbon takes a cozy nap in brand new charred oak barrels. But here's the kicker, it can't be tucked in at more than 125 proof. It's like bourbon's bedtime rule. So those would be rules 3 and 4.
A bedtime rule, love it. And it's all American, right?
As American as apple pie. That's rule number 5. It doesn't matter if it's not from Kentucky. Any state can claim bourbon fame. Heck, even U.S. territories can be involved in this.
Wow, so it's a nationwide party. And when it's time to bottle?
Rule 6 is that it must be bottled between 80 and 150 proof. That's 40% to 75% alcohol by volume. It's like bourbon's dress code for leaving the barrel house.
Dress code, check. And no funny business with additives, right?
Spot on. Bourbon's all natural. No makeup, no additives, just pure, unadulterated spirit.
Thanks, Andrew. So to summarize, it's got to be at least 51% corn, made in the U.S. or its possessions, stay under 160 proof while fermenting, and under 125 proof while aging in new, charred barrels, and bottled between 80 and 150 proof, and contain no additives.
You bet, Abby. Now there are a couple of additional standards. If you want to call it straight bourbon, think of it as a 2-year minimum in the barrel. And for the bottled-in bond badge of honor, we're talking 4 years.
Thanks again. It's nice to see that these standards exist. But who made them and who enforces them?
The standards for bourbon are set by the United States federal government, specifically through regulations enforced by the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, TTB. These regulations define the requirements that distillers must meet for a whiskey to be labeled as bourbon. The TTB is responsible for ensuring compliance with these standards and can take enforcement action against producers who do not adhere to them.
There is so much to learn about bourbons, scotches, and whiskeys in general. I hope you enjoyed this video and will do me the favor of watching another one from our growing catalog.